Sorry, Rajiv, please go ahead.
So, Swamiji, for 20 years, I've been fighting the anti-Hindu forces.
Yes.
Full time, not part time, with
yes.
nothing to gain for myself,
Ah.
because it's a fight for dharma. Now, these same forces, these are the forces that have also the conspiracy against you.
Yes, yes.
And many other Mahatmas. And they are also the anti-Modi forces, actually. He also knows this. So this is a huge war. Now, in this war, there is a need for Kshatriyata. So this is without personal gain, just to fight. Now, the question often comes by some people in Advait, that how do you reconcile with Advait? Because why are you fighting? You should complete with them. So my answer, which I want to verify and get your advice and also this, is that firstly, this is not with my Timili. These are other forces.
Yes.
And these forces have always existed. There is Ravana that had to be killed. There's Bin Laden. I mean, and also Arjun couldn't say, well, you know, these are people could not fight and run away. So it seems like the nature of reality has always had some such forces, and it becomes a responsibility of some people's for dharma to go fight them. And yet, one has to live in Advait. So my question is how the Advait completion is such that at the same time, while from within I have no animosity, I'm not doing it out of any anger, and even when I'm fighting like crazy, inside I'm at peace. I have no fear, and I have no kind of doubt. I'm very relaxed inside. I'm in Advait inside. But at the same time, they think that I'm really like a guy who's really out to get them. So there is this two-sided thing, and I'd like some clarity.
Reconciling Advaita with this Dharma Yuddha.
Yes.
Dharma Yuddha. See, one point I wanted to add. When you feel there is a need to fight these elements, those elements are creating something which provokes you, which makes you decide that these elements need to be fought with. Understand? When you complete with that which starts, you will make them powerless. Then you don't need a Brahmastra to kill them. Broomstick is enough to kill them. So this is the one.
Right.
Second, because the instinct to fight with them has been completed, does not mean the fight will stop.
That's right.
Krishna does not have, you see the funny drama of the Mahabharata war, the disciples trained by Drona are fighting Drona, Bhishma, Drona, Vitura, all of them, on whom they invested their energy. They are fighting them, and Krishna's own army is fighting Krishna from the other side. Do you see the whole fun? Because see, what makes you decide that these elements need to be fought with? When you work on completing with that exact, the decision making factor, which makes you identify with whom you need to fight. If that can be completed, your fight will become easy. It will not stop the fight. We always feel if the identifying factor is completed, we will not be fighting, which is not true actually. In my case, I have clearly identified all the conspirators, then saw my completion has made them powerless. See, for example, I am telling you 2-3 conspirators. I don't need to destroy them, but if I make their enmity towards me weak, I won the game. So in the 2-3, I may be able to manage 80%, more than 80% in my completion itself. The remaining 20%, I will always be a hero. Hero is a person who fights very less but wins very large. Actually, this is the definition of the hero.
Right.
Fights very less, wins very large. Lot of our fight can be killed when we kill the disorganized enemy identifying incompletion. All of us, when we are hungry, just ordinary hunger, the number of enemies you feel in your life count. After your hunger is gone, you count number of enemies, it will be lot less. So, we miss sometime that the enemy identifying instinct need to be completely in our awareness, in our fold. When the enemy identifying instinct is in our awareness, actually itself we make our enemies lose power. It will be a cakewalk fight. If you see, I tell you very honestly, I think I can tell you, you know the crucial moment when I was pressurized, when the pressure was put on me to leave the organization and go. You know, you are the witness. And you have you seen even at that moment any powerlessness in me?
No. You stood your ground, yes.
I told, I'll repeat that statement, you just correct me. I said, I am born as an incarnation. If I am an incarnation, the light ball which assumed this body, I'll destroy all these problems and come out of it.
Yes.
I don't need any of your help. Finally, that's where I stood.
Yes.
I asked for your help. Great. If you put a condition, it's okay. But what I am, if I am that, I'll break all this and come out of it. Do you remember?
Yes.
Am I right?
Perfectly, yes.
At that moment, I was very polite, literally acting as if I am going to budge for them, because I just want to swallow their anger. That was not the moment to stand with arrogance. I never gave up my firmness, but I swallowed many of their anger by completing the enemy identifying pattern. See, in our system, we have certain patterns which identifies who is our enemy and who is our friend. Completing with that takes away the strength of our enemy. Of course, this is more like a mystical statement. But when you add this into your thinking and life, you can realize it. Because it is based on Advaita, again, it looks little mystical. You can master it. But we always have this fear, if we lose the enmity, we may stop fighting, which is not true. Which is not true. When we lose the enmity, we will be fighting with the real enemies using very less power, very less energy, and shining out as hero. Hero is a person, uses very less energy to fight, but wins in a big way and goes on spending his time in celebrating his victory. I tell you, Advaita can simply make us hero. We all think Rama and Krishna was fighting whole life. No. Rama was having honeymoon 13.5 years. Only last 6 months he fought with Ravana. Krishna was having honeymoon throughout his life. Only last 18 days he fought in the Mahabharata war. So I may say, infusing more Advaita into our fight. See, I wanted to make it very clear, Rajivji. I am not at all saying the enemies with whom you are fighting are good people, right people. You don't need to fight with them. No, no, no. You understand what I am saying?
Yes.
I am not at all saying all that. All I am trying to tell you is, your enemy identification pattern can be acid washed with more Advaita, which will make you come up with a sharper strategies to attack them and make them powerless.
And that's what I needed your help, is how to use Advaita for the Dharma Yuddha more effectively.
Yes.
That
See,
is.
yes.
That.
The exactly
Yes.
what makes you identify your enemies.
Yes.
Those points pen down and do completion on those points next 10 days. Only on those points. You will see suddenly you have a sharper strategy and they lose power. The only difference between Saguni and Krishna, both of them are very powerful strategists. But Saguni is not able to make his enemies powerless. Krishna is able to make his enemies powerless by completing within him.
Also, Swamiji, it seems that the adharma forces, because they are fighting on falsity, there is a deep hypocrisy, there is no authenticity, and there is no integrity. So that is also self-defeating. In other words,
yes,
that they are not fighting on, they are on quicksand, they're not on a solid foundation. So
that itself is a self-defeat.
Ultimately, even if the two are evenly matched, they don't have a foundation. And
Yes.
ultimately, they'll fall on their own.
They fall on their own. That is one thing. Second thing, when we identify our instincts which identifies our enemies and do an acid wash, it will be like even we will understand the better way to narrow down an enemy, and even in the enemy narrow down only those components which need to be attacked. There are some enemies, I economically made them poor, zero. There are some enemies, intellectually I confused them. There are some enemies, I terrorized them. The fellow who was terrorized does not need to be made economically poor. The fellow who needs to be made economically poor does not need to be terrorized. I identified, narrowed down exact point on which he need to be emptied. Means he need to be made powerless. That clarity comes when you do acid wash to the pattern which identifies your enemy. See, because he is also having the same of me. So when I acid wash means when I complete with the patterns through which I can identify the enemies. Actually, I don't do completion, it's already complete, but it means when I am bringing that to the awareness, yes, with this awareness when I see, I don't see the whole Lenin as enemy, only one part of him is enemy, just only on that line I work on him, he becomes powerless and he is no more enemy for me. I don't need to attack, waste energy on his whole thing. You understand? There are some people whose only intellectually they need to be confused. There are some people who need to be terrorized, that's all. Nothing much is required. It took little time, but just with this strategy, if you talk to the people who are sitting next to me and playing, doing this, supporting me, just with this strategy, I won the game. There are 2-3 statements I can make very confidently. There is no other guru who so successfully came out of attack.
Yes.
Can you accept that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because most of them ran away. Most of them ran away or they compromised. And I know some of the biggest gurus around have privately told me that if we were to show our true teachings, we'll get attacked, so we don't want to talk about things. So they want to remain non-controversial. And non-controversial means supporting the prevailing point of view, which we both know is not the truth. So they're following, they're complicit and following the enemy side just to be in the good books. This is, yeah.
One thing, this first statement, no other guru has come out so clearly. Second, even if the few gurus survived, did not retain, they were not able to retain their psychological strength and enthusiasm to expand.
Yes.
Can you agree this statement?
Absolutely correct.
I was able to not only win, and able to retain my enthusiasm, energy, intelligence, and continue to excite this whole team around me. You understand?
Yes.
Continue to excite this team around me, giving them the powerful security in this such vast attack which made the whole Sangha feel insecure. It is just because I was very clear. I was in Advaita and in was, is, will be in Advaita with the people whom I think are, I say, as conspirators. I am in Advaita with them. And I identify exact, not only on person, on the part of the personality, narrow down to the part of the personality which need to be nullified.
This is very good. This is very good because this is Advaita on the Kurukshetra. This is in the Mahabharata. That's what it teaches.
See, Bhishma can never be killed.
Yes.
Anybody who knows will become powerless in front of Bhishma. Only Krishna can think, no, he cannot be killed, but we can make it such a way he don't pick up the weapon. That's all. So he becomes useless. You understand?
Yes.
So only identifying what we need to handle for us to be free. That precise identifying comes by the power of completion. So whatever instinct you have which makes you identify your enemy, sit and pen down that and go on completing with that instinct. You will see, you will identify your enemies more precisely, narrowing down the component of them. I know whose kidney should fail, whose eye should fail, whose brain should fail, whose liver should fail. No need to kill the whole person. Killing the whole person, few people enough. No need for too many.
The waste of energy.
A waste of energy.
Yeah.
Waste of energy. See, Mahabharata, Krishna, the highest victory with the lowest consumption of energy. Because precisely identified. Bhishma, see, the one of the biggest strength of Duryodhana was Bhishma cannot be killed. No one thought, when a person who can't be killed is standing in front of you, how can you win the war? Yes, he can't be killed, right? Let's just make him useless. So sucking away the enmity from the enemy, sucking away the myth we put on an enemy that he is whole as enemy to us, taking away that is Advaita.
Very good. Thank you, Swami.
The whole person is no more enemy. The whole group is no more enemy. It is precisely this guy. Does he need to be intellectually terrorized? Does he need to be emotionally shaken? Does he need to be economically power? What it takes to make him lose his enmity? Just what takes to make him powerless? That's enough. I think that will save so much of your energy. Save so much of your energy. But we always carry one fear. If I do so much completion, I may stop fight itself. What will happen? No. How much ever you do completion, ultimately there will be one part even in you need to be killed. So that part will be there out as a Duryodhana. So that, playing with that is the joy of war. Playing with that is joy of war. Because Duryodhana, Sahuni, everyone is extension of Krishna. Extension of Krishna.
So actually, ultimately it's a game.
Game.
Yeah.
Ultimately it's a game.
And it's the art of learning to play the game with finesse.
Yes. See, Krishna was able to speak 95% of his own listening. 5% which he is not able to speak is Saguni and Duryodhana. So now he finishes them off because of this 95% of the power. It so easily finishes, he celebrates the heroism. His heroism. So reducing our effort getting drained by doing completion with the patterns which identifies our enemy narrows down precisely on the enemy and enmity. 1.5 years after the attack on me, I have not made a single statement about anybody to media because I was waiting and narrowing down on who is my enemy and who is exactly need to be handled. There are some enemies who casually join just because there is a war. Fun. They themselves do not have excitement. But if I poke at them, they will get excited and start joining the army. So I waited all of them to drop. Only the precise enemies, precise weapons. I cannot, for various legal reasons, I cannot speak the whole strategy out. But every single fellow who planned to illegally put me in prison, I put all of them in prison. I put all of them in prison. Soon I will write a tell-all book. It is ultimately, Rajuji, when we increase the power of Advaita into us more and more, we become more and more precise about identifying the enemy. It is no more a group, few individuals. In the individuals also, no more the whole individual, few of their capabilities. When only few of their capabilities need to be attacked, it becomes so easy to wage the war. So 95% of ability to speak into your listening, with that 5% playing roughly is Leela. But when 60% of you only you are able to speak into your listening, 40% of you are fighting, that becomes like a tension, stressful war. Dharma Yuddha can become a Leela if the enmity inside us can be brought down. Because the precise identification, a precise pinpoint, a precise strategy becomes a thinking style. Hope I am able to help you and answer some of your questions.
No, this is wonderful. This is wonderful because it's very practical.
That's all. That's all. But Today I revealed my business secret. How I plan strategies.
So we'll continue the good fight.
Yes. That's what we should see. How much ever you are able to speak into your listening, you will not be able to do it 100%. There will be remaining few percent. That few percent will give you the juice and spice of enemies. So play with those enemies. How many of you are able to connect with what I said? That's all is the Dharma Yuddha we need to fight. I have given the signs of Dharma Yuddha, how I planned strategies. How I planned strategies. The people who are working around me, they will all the time come and tell, he is the enemy, he is the enemy, he need to be done. Swamiji, do something to him, do something to him. I'll say, wait. Let us not get agitated. Achala is laughing because she is the one all the time will be telling me, Swamiji, this person, you are Kala Bhairava, why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? When you can do this, why can't you do that? Wait. I tell you, you don't need to lose the joy of fight just because you are completing. How much ever you complete, there will be few percentage of your own part you will not be able to speak into the listening of that. That will always give you few enemies with whom you can play with. You smash them. You smash them. Before that, finish maximum percentage of completion. Finish maximum completion. There will be few remaining, very little percentage, for which you will have so much of power. You will have so much of power. Sometimes you don't even need to use your weapon. Even demonstrating your weapon, the fellow will run away. Fellow who always conspires will be always afraid of unexpected conspiracy attacks. So attack him only there. So I revealed one business secret. I don't want to reveal everything. But I tell you, I just connected with him. If I am conspiring constantly and try to attack the other person before he becomes aware, what is the way I will judge my enemy? So when I put myself in that space, I can see very clearly, I'll be always afraid of the attacks unexpectedly coming from my enemy. How many of you understand what I am saying? Like this, with each person, I spend time in the space of Advaita and precisely, never wasted energy, never wasted time, never wasted anything, precisely finished. Please understand, in this whole thing, I was continuing to do my spiritual work. I was continuing with my satsangs, with my materialization demonstrations. All the best things I delivered to the world has happened after this attack. Can I list out the things which I shared, gifted to the world after this attack in last 3.5 years? 108 kriyas, 108 niyama asanas, N pregnancy program, at least 50 more ashrams, and at least 100 more books. an everyday morning satsang, Nityananda TV, teleportation, materialization, two-way video conferencing, whole infrastructure and satsang, Nirahara Samyama, N parenting. No, inner awakening I started before. Four tattvas, the contribution of the science of completion, science of living enlightenment. This, of course, all these science of completion, and the whole Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, Brahma Sutras, New Bhagavad Gita commentary, this whole thing I contributed after this so-called attack.
Akashic readings, Swami.
Akashic readings. Kalbhairava Darshan. Become Mahamandaleshwar in Mahanirvani Akkada. And Madurai Adinam, which cannot be taken away. Don't worry. Legally I cannot be removed. And still I have not publicized. 15 days or 20 days? 20 days before, legally I have already been coronated as Adi Nagartar of another 2000-year-old mutt. Still I have not publicly announced. Because all the illegal occupants are getting evicted. I wanted to finish all that silently in the old Adi Nagartar name itself. I told him, you finish all that and hand over everything to me. He is doing all that. Because these illegal occupants only start going to media and creating ruckus. So I don't want to take up the second time this mess. I told you vacate all that. He is doing all that job. But legally I have already become Adi Nagartar of the second Adinam, which is 2000 years old. And at least half a dozen mutts which are 400 years old, I am head. All this happened after this so-called attack, persecution. And Purna Sannyas Sampradaya, Krama Brahmacharya, Rishi order, SMKT structure, Padayatras. No, Padayatras I started much before. Much before. And Kailash Yatra. Kailash Yatra after that only. This whole thing, in one hand rotating the sword, another hand giving initiation. One hand rotating the Trishul, another hand giving initiation. I tell you, when you pour more and more Advaita in all the spots which is very hot and spicy in you, you will have more and more clear strategies. More and more clear strategies. Powerful strategies. I have seen this in my life. Whatever now I said, I can say, I am standing by these words with all my integrity. That's all to add, Rajuji.
Very good.